everybody. This is TT Lyos.
This is Kyle with Keem.
You're listening to the VMix with your girl V.
With your girl V on the VMix. Get familiar, man.
It's your girl Storm, chilling with your girl V at the VMix. Get familiar. That's how we do it. You feel me?
Here at the VMix with your girl V, who's amazing. Her whole team's amazing.
I just rocked it out with my girl V on the VMix Radio. Make sure you tune in.
Here's what's to come from Miss Vee, host of the VMix Radio Show. New production, live shows, new events, Volume 3 mixtape. Get familiar. You know you want to get familiar. So send your inquiries and your media material to the vmix@gmail.com, and that's 2 X's. I'm your girl, Miss Vee, host of the VMix Radio Show.
This song's straight trash.
Fucking trash. It's supposed to be the season finale?
You got anything else we can watch?
Check this shit out.
Well, how long have you felt like that?
I've had one too many bad days.
Come on. So you mean to tell me that there's nothing about any of these days that makes you happy?
No, not at all. But I will say, as far as this day specifically, the only thing that seems to interest me is you.
Me?
Harley. You're very interesting. Fascinating even.
Fascinates you.
You see, there's just something about you that seems scarred.
Scarred? I'm not scarred.
Nonsense, Arlene. Well, I feel like I can totally relate to you. I mean, if anything, would you like to know how I got these scars?
I know how you got the scars. I'm your therapist. You're not my therapist.
You're right. And you are here to help me. So I need you to really help me. I need a knife and a crowbar.
Moment of silence, moment of violence, fresh out of Argamas Island. Fresh out of Argamas Island. The joke is on you if you try me. Ooh. Slice shit. Oh, Jizz, you crazy for this one. No joke, no joke. You slowpoke, show no growth. Don't own anything, not even your thoughts. Your soul's been bought, I'm a land dweller. I don't swim with the sharks. But my old lady told me that I got a big boat though. I mean, I seen an old lady with ass by the boatload. I mean, I dreamed of shaking the world like any other boy or girl would do with a snow globe. Whoa, don't go and overdose. When you see them rose goals, hold that bobo. It's understood and gotta be explained. So if you don't know, then you won't know. But motherfuckers wanna think it's fun and games until I tell the killing joke though. Moment of silence, moment of violence, fresh out of Argamas Island. Fresh out of Argamas Island. The joke is on you if you try me. Ooh. Moment of silence, moment of violence, fresh out of Argamas Island. Fresh out of Argamas Island. The joke is on you. Yeah, that's what I'm about. If you with it, then break me about it, dawg. I'm just fulfilling the balance, so why is you mad at me, dawg? Nightlife ain't right if the bad isn't after me, dawg. I can nap cause I plan on you napping. I plan on you napping. I plan to get caught.
But still, Harley, you say you had too many. Who's that? Oh! Honey, quit crying, asshole, did you touch me?
But I had one too many bad days, and that explains why Chaos is my last name. But it's okay if you call me Mr. J. Ooh. Harley rides while I hit this J. Bitch, I've been insane, gifted yet twisted. Mr. Sinister is a bit of a wicked depiction of something you're wishing was fiction. And it might seem like my life was written by Edgar Allan fucking Poe. Lemony Snicket. My buds tend to make me wiser, so unlike Adam, I leap right before you can rip it. No, I don't need much, just weed in the cup with some Henny in it. A couple of Zans for the mission. Got 25 lighters on my dresser and a can of gasoline. You know that I'm lit. Moment of silence, moment of violence, fresh out of Argamas Island. Fresh out of Argamas Island. The joke is on you if you try me. Ooh. Moment of silence, moment of violence, fresh out of Argamas Island. Fresh out of Argamas Island. The joke is on you. Moment of silence, moment of violence, fresh out of Argamas Island. Fresh out of Argamas Island. The joke is on you if you try the balance, so why is you mad at me, dawg? Nightlife ain't right if the bad isn't after me, dawg. I kidnap cause I plan on you napping, I plan on you napping, I plan to get caught. I had one too many bad days. Yeah. Said I had one too many bad days. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Said I had one too many bad days. Yeah. Do you understand what happened to the last person that tried to get into my mind? I essentially flipped the script. Cause see, the last person who Harley Quinn, she can get it. Catwoman with the business. Poison Ivy left me itching. Now I'm headed to the clinic.
Yo, that shit was cold as a motherfucker, yo. Yo. OG's on the track.
Yeah, what?
Yo, don't tell me you fell asleep on it, man. That shit was cold as a motherfucker, bro.
Okay, yo, tell me one thing.
What up?
Why do you have blood on your hands, nigga?
It's your girl, Miss Vee, host of the VMix radio show. I want y'all to get familiar with my guest, but before I introduce him, I want to thank my last show, Cool V with the Sauce. I had a great interview. Again, I want to shout out my sponsors first and foremost. I want to say shout outs to Division Street Landscaping, okay? I want y'all to get familiar. He's looking for employment. If you're looking for employment, he's looking to hire you. And also, if you're looking for landscaping services, you can get familiar with Division Street Landscaping. The information is on my website, thevmix.com. Go to thevmix.com, and the information is under the tab Limited Offer. And if you're looking for landscaping services or employment, look out for and get familiar for Division Street Landscaping, okay? That's one of today's sponsors. Also, Mayor's Lighthouse. Shout out to Mayor's Lighthouse. And I also want to give a thank you and a shout out for the sponsorship today for Mingle's Lounge. Mingle Lounge is located in the shopping center of Woodlawn. So if you want to have any events here, any kind of events you can think of, wedding, baby showers, parties, get familiar with Mingle Lounge. They are open and they are COVID ready. But again, shout out to my last guest, Cool V with the Sauce. But today, I have an exclusive for you, okay? And to hear the interview, I want y'all to get familiar with, the VMix is on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, and again, thevmix.com, okay? So it's several ways to listen to us, okay? So if you want to get any of my last guests or any of my last shows or last things that I've done, go to thevmix.com. But I am going to be live on Facebook today. And also, you can always check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, and I do have some mixtapes, okay, that's on Audio Man. So Volume 3 is about to drop very soon. Stay tuned. I'm gearing up for Volume 4, so stay tuned for the Get Familiar VMix tape with the artists that been to the VMix radio show. But all right, enough about that. Thank you again to all my sponsors, and I'm about to get familiar with my guests to my right. What's up?
Hey,
Neza.
how you doing? Neza.
But you go by Neza?
Neza.
Okay.
Yes, I have a lot of names actually, but right now we're going to run with Neza.
Neza. So he's an artist?
Artist, producer, but artist, podcaster,
okay,
illustrator, animator.
So you're a creator?
Yeah, creator. Overall, yeah.
Overall creator. So we're here today to talk about my imaginary reality.
Absolutely.
So let's first say congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on is this your first or second project?
To be honest with you, I would consider it first because it's the first project with on the Track Music Group. So yeah, it's first. So, although if people do care to do their discography research on me, I've been doing this for a good while. So
writing songs since you was 12.
Oh man.
Come on, let's talk. Let's talk. So this is your first album.
Yeah.
not your first project.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And y'all still need to get familiar, do your research and everything. And this is your first album and project with your music group.
Yes, on the track music group.
Okay. And you was doing music since you was 12. Come on, tell me, talk to me.
Oh my God.
Let's get
That's crazy. That's like Nardwuar. Like, where'd you get that info? All right, so actually 8. I've been making music since I was 8. Deeply embedded because, you know, quick side story. Mom and Pop, they've always, you know, had music around us. And I'm the middle child. I have a young brother and older sister, so they can attest to this. Music has been all the way generating through our lineage, so to say. They've always done contemporary gospel, and Pop's always produced for Moms, and she always done the singing. And at some point, that kind of inspired me to do what I do.
Oh, so it was in the house.
Yeah,
it was all around you.
Very much. It's definitely embedded. So at some point, I carried those same principles, and of course, you know, you listen to my music now, it's not, you know, gospel or nothing of the sort. But still, I would like to think that there's an underlying message, or at least some sort of, you know, context to coincide with the music. But yeah, long story short,
it sounds like you like writing.
I do.
Did you write the entire My Imaginary Reality by yourself, or did you co-write with OGS?
No, I wrote a good majority of it. A good majority of it. And the reason why I say that is because some of that I didn't write.
What you mean?
I mean, because a lot of artists will agree with sometimes not always, you know, being able to physically write, but mentally. Okay. So that's what I mean. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I freestyled the whole thing, because people will be so literal and like, oh, you freestyled the whole thing? No, that's not the case at all. I just, you know, started with a few bars. As I take this leap of faith, record, play it back if I like it, master how that take is going to sound, and then go from there.
You're one of them.
Kind of. I became one of them over time. But, you know, at some point I really harnessed the situation we were in and really came with it. Like, I'll always, you know, credit my brother OGS because he got me back in my writing bag. Because there was a point in time for at least 5 years I wasn't the same, you know, technique I just described to you. I was doing that for at least 5 years, and it was cool, but I still wasn't structuring songs the way I wanted to. In hindsight, that's the way I see it now. So, you know, big ups to my brother OGS. Like, he got me writing, and that's how you were able to get songs.
Let me tell you about OGS. I met him. No, actually, I seen OGS one day on a limb in a mall, and I didn't know if he knew me, and I just was looking at him like, do you know me? I didn't know if he knew me, so I never spoke to him. I looked at him a couple times, like, you don't know me, whatever. Like, I didn't speak. And then wind up, he reached out. I didn't know he was cool with my God Valley fam. And then next thing you know, we had an awesome interview, and we just been down ever since. He supports all the mixtapes. He will, I think actually, he's Valley. The second mixtape, the second song with Valley, he produced that track, and I just realized it. See, I'm a fan. I'm a fan too. I'm a fan. But OGS is so dope, and I love it. I just like how he works very close, you know, with his friends, his artists. I just think he's dope. And how did you meet him?
Well, glad we can get to that.
Yes.
I met him through my manager, Slew Roxon. Okay. Shout out to Slew Roxon. And, you know, I'm trying to make the long story short. But he initially told me about him, and at that point I didn't do too much research on, you know, who this dude was. OGS, but at the time I'm just like, okay, just, you know, something he wants me to do, network or whatever the case is. So we initially we meet, and that was in February. We met in February, and funny enough, we actually almost immediately, you know, had chemistry built, because, you know, we got there before Slew did, so we were automatically, you know, talking and connecting on like producer level, because I was asking questions immediately about like, well, what do you use, or techniques and stuff like that. So we were building. It was authentic. It was organic. It was great. And we initially met and agreed on doing an EP. You know, it's like 5 or 6 tracks. And, you know, just to, you know, fast forward to see where we at with it now. And then,
so the EP turned into an album?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. What happened to the EPs and the LPs and straight cake? So the EP turned into an album. The chemistry was that crazy?
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. And I have no regrets.
20 tracks.
No regrets at all.
So you started off with 5, you got 20.
Yeah.
So was it more than 20 and y'all kind of like cut it down to 20?
No. It was, we had some, maybe 2 or 3 left over, but What I did was, with this project, it was very humbling. And, you know, I've had this conversation a few times, and, you know, he knows what I'm about to say, but it was real. I didn't just walk away from this situation with just a dope project and, you know, a new situation, OMG Music Group. No, it was a brotherhood, you know, a true understanding that I got, you know, with working through, with OJ's. You know what I'm saying? And not only did he challenge me musically and, you know, got me to start writing again, but it was just like on a level, man. He understood me, he let me be me. And with this project, it had to be a trust thing, because like I said earlier, I do the producing too, and at some point I've been tooting my own horn, and that was the issue. You see what I'm saying? So I had to trust him that just handle what he handles, what he does best, production. And that let me get into my role, really, you know, harness that, don't divert at all, be the best artist, rapper, writer I can be, and just trust this man to do what he did. So by the time we got to that point where we were wrapping up the album, I already knew after like the fifth track that we sent back and forth to each other, we was like, oh man, yeah, he has the vision. And then even after every time we sent a mix back to each other, we're already thinking in terms of videos and everything. So I think it was just, I think I knew after the first track that it was going to just be an EP. But
And the first track would be your single Now, Along Halloween, or would it be My Imaginary Reality? What was the first track that you worked on out of the 20 tracks on your album?
It was actually
Push. I was talking about Cricket earlier.
Yeah, it was actually Push.
It was Push?
Yeah.
He sent the right one.
Yeah. You're not too far off, because he sent a little bit after we met in February. I think it was a few weeks, maybe a few days, a few weeks. I don't know. I smoke a lot, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was a beat called Conundrum he sent to me, and I was blown away. Because like I said, I didn't do too much research on him. But I know he has a beat
Tracy Lee, like I said, Valley. Yeah,
and that's my
feature with Tracy Lee.
Yeah,
Crickets.
We'll dig it.
All right. We're talking about Push. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I was blown away when I heard it. I tried to get it back as soon as possible, because like I said, I'm a father too, and you know, balancing life and, you know, the artistry, whatever the case is, kind of chaotic.
So you took some time off.
Can't really do that without turbulence, but it got done. And they liked what they heard, and you know, from there it was on and popping.
So when you started writing at 8, 12, you growing up, when did you really take it serious? You had to take it serious before you met Slew and OJ.
Yeah.
So when did you really was like, okay, I want to do it? But did you take a break or something? Like, did you have a time to be a dad and things of that nature? Like, what you do? Because for the people who don't know, you're like, where you come from? Like,
I mean, it's crazy because it was. I'll be transparent as hell. I'm 31 years old. Okay, and there's many levels and, you know, transitions I had to make before I could even be eligible to get in this specific position. Just to be honest with you. So, and when I say that, I mean, you know, to answer your question, your initial question, yes, it was probably when I was 16. What I say, he wasn't there when I started making music way back in 2005. I forget what age I was exactly, but that's when I was like, you know what, I think I could really do this, you know. And it wasn't so much, like I said, the backing, the support system that I know I already had from mom and pop and everything that's embedded, but it was just more so like, yo, you don't have too many options, you know what I mean?
But so, now the support came, the team formed,
definitely.
Organic too. Now that really took a break from it, it just was.
No, the thing is, like, as far as that, life happened, definitely, because of choices, you know, and there's no one I can blame but myself. And, you know, the thing, now, in hindsight, I'm very thankful, you know, even with situations where I can say I wasn't very intelligent with my timing or whatnot, but in hindsight, I'm very thankful for how it happened, because, like I said to them in conversation, like, if they probably met me a few years back, it would probably been a total disconnect. It wouldn't have been the right time. So, you know, like I said, things happen for a reason when they happen.
How important, I know we're going to get into these crazy tracks, but how important is a team? How important is a team of the people who know their roles? Because you mentioned that earlier, and that is so important. A lot of times people who have a team, they start out and everybody want to, I want to be a radio. Everybody want to do what one person do or want to be the star. But how is it important for people to really get in their roles and play their part?
It's very important. Like, it's make or break important. And I say that because, like, and that's why I credit you when I'm able to see what you do, because you know, if some people, and look, I've even had this conversation with OJs, it's like at some point, yeah, that's cool with dependability and like people, you know, designating roles, but if these people can't fill in these spots, it trickles down to us and we feel the effect. So I'd rather rock this off myself, win, lose, or draw, rather than to, you know, open myself up to the vulnerability of, you know, possibly getting shit done the right way, depending on these people or not. So it's very important, but, you know, throughout this whole process, I'm learning more and more, you know, to be a part of the team, that's great, but to know your role and, like I said earlier, to trust that these individuals that you were working with are doing their jobs and there's nothing to question. As long as you're doing yours, it's cool. We all want the same end game. Everything should be effective. Cool.
Like your music video that you just shot for Long Halloween?
Yes.
Was that successful?
Absolutely.
It was crazy?
Crazy, insane.
How many shots? How did it go?
It was terrific. We did 2 days of shooting. First day was the meat and potatoes, the asylum. The asylum, you know, the escape, a little bit. And the thing is, like, there's so much I want to say about it, but like, I'd rather people see it.
All right, but it's coming out when, the 31st?
It's actually out.
It's out now?
It's out right now.
I said that because it's called A Long Halloween. Like, how did you come up with the theme? How did the concept of, and you know, Halloween is like, what, next weekend?
Yeah.
Next week?
Yeah.
But the music video is out now on all platforms, on YouTube?
Yes, on YouTube. That's the video, right? Video, yeah. Video, it's on YouTube. But the single is Spotify, Apple Music, all stream platforms, digital stores. But as far as where we initially got the idea from, you know, I'm a dude that likes to go back. So here's what happened. He sent me the beat. He sent me the beat. And it was called Joker. And I went crazy immediately because it had this laugh in it. And you can hear it even in the official version, like, and that's that's actually what it is. You know what I'm saying?
For real?
Hell yeah, yeah.
That's why I did 20. The first initial flyer was 20 seconds. I was like, no, I need to hit 30 seconds of this.
But yeah, I think that same night or maybe the next morning, I sent him what I did to it, and you know, him and Slu, they went crazy. And I forget who it was, or I think we all did. It was like, yo, that's the first thing. That right there. But when you listen to it, if you know, you know. Like DC fandom, DC Comics, it's really loosely and at some point entirely based off of, you know, the Batman Joker continuity. You know, but when you look at the video and then you listen to what I'm saying, there's a few aspects where I put myself actually in there. You know, that in a creative way, I'm kind of, if I was the Joker for 24 hours or whatever the case is.
So why didn't you keep Joker and it changed to A Long Halloween then?
Well, the thing is, A Long Halloween is a actual different story in their continuity. I just took that because, like I said, it's playful and it's nothing to really be taken seriously because if you think about it, it's one song out of 19 or 20 in a multiverse of vibes, if you will. So I didn't want people to get caught up in that, but at some point it's A Long Halloween, and if people ask me the context behind the name A Long Halloween, I would say it's been a long Halloween ever since, 45 been in office.
I like that, yeah.
And that's just honestly how I always seen it, but at some point, you know, you overlook that with the geekdom and the imagery of Harley Quinn, all that. Yeah, sure, lose your mind in it, but there's always an underlying message with me, and that's what people will understand over time. You see what I'm saying? So, A Long Halloween, the video is out right now, shot by On the Track Photos. You already know what it is.
What's your contact information?
Oh yeah, you can get at me on Instagram, Twitter, DMV_Neza, Neza.
We got a couple of tracks. All right, let me just, I want to get into how you get into the creative process, how you and OJs did that, but I want to talk about this one particular track to kind of like, so you got a fetish with feet, you got a track named Toes. What is it called, Toes? You like feet? You like, I just got X.
Cat's out the bag now.
So that's your fetish?
Nezzy sucks toe.
So you got something called toes over here?
10 toes.
10 toes?
Yeah,
Okay.
10 toes.
I'm only playing.
You caught me.
Well, we got Push, let's talk about Toes. What was that reference around?
10 toes, that's basically saying, I'm still staying solid, 10 toes, no matter what situations I may be facing. And that's something that's, you know, universal. Anyone can feel, you know, we all face things every day. Some get praised for what we overcome, some don't. And I actually make reference to that on the song Rainy Days. You know, and that's a big shout out to all the silent heroes, everyone fighting their silent battles. But swinging back to 10 Toes, it was just a little something pretty much just talking about how I've always held people down, whether I've, gotten that back in return or not. No matter what, I take it on the chin because, especially now, I see the importance of being a team player. So regardless, I don't have time to be petty. I'm still just going to be solid.
Very true.
So
I like that.
There's a lot of meat and potatoes to it.
We got What Will It Take?
Well, you heard that one, right?
A little bit of it.
Yeah. See, I love it because.
Which one your favorite?
Oh, it's hard to say.
We got Perfect Form. What Will It Take? Can't Lie.
Hard to say. I mean, well, I love them all for my own reasons. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, like I've seen these blossom. They start out as seeds. Even if it's just with the instrumentals, it's just crazy. And then to actually get concepts to them, like songs like What Will It Take? To be honest, the beat that initially that was something. Oh God, it's crazy. That is something that I was initially directing to my first baby mom, my son's mom.
Okay.
What will it take for you to love me? But it took a turn when I was writing, and it eventually became something very, polarizing in a good and bad way. But just deep, powerful, something necessary, because there's no way. Even though when you listen to all these projects and all these different vibes, it should be an escape. You should feel a lot of things. You can be able to relate to it, but you should be able to escape to it. But at some point, that is the only thing where I want people to really wake up and listen to and see, this is our reality right now. This is crazy. And I'm talking black folk. So, like it or love it.
So how did you get in your creative process? Did you record, send it to him, or y'all was actually live in the studio for every track?
No.
Do you gotta smoke every track? You gotta have, what do you do? How do you get ready? You gotta get motivated listening to other music? What's your process like?
It varies. It honestly varies. With this project, it was a little different because, and sometimes, as far as being an artist, sometimes I can split myself into two. I'm either receptive or I'm not. And around this time when we started this is when the pandemic really kicked off. So, to be honest, we were going to be as safe as possible. We initially agreed to, a session, and I think I was going to go to him, but at some point things transpired with the COVID, and it was like, we ain't going to take no chances. Shoot what you can to me. I had a studio, in my own right, so, I can try to do the best I can to structure it and just, again, trust him to do what he does. And that was the whole entire process for the whole album.
COVID definitely made everyone buckle down and learn new ways to be creative and get shit done.
Yeah. But it was crazy though because a lot of music came out around that time. But to answer another one of your questions, it hurt me that I couldn't even listen to some music. Eminem dropped Music to Be Murdered By. Wayne dropped The Funeral. A lot of music came out, but it was like I don't want to be manipulated in no way.
Oh.
So I'm gonna smoke my weed. I'm gonna hang around my homies who aren't necessarily yes men, but they keep it all the way funky with me. So they'll tell me. Yeah, exactly. So they let me know what's good, what ain't, what's trash, this, that, and the third. But anyways, I just stay around good people. I stay prayed up. To be honest with you, got to. And that's it. He gives me the beat. He sends me the beat, and it's kind of like an actor when they're reviewing a script, or a writer is trying to
All right, so we talked about 10 Toes, we talked about Rainy Days, My Imaginary Reality. Did we get into that single yet?
My Imaginary Reality, that's the intro.
That's the intro.
The very first song. Powerful. I say some shit on there.
Y'all better go and download and stream right now.
Yeah.
We talked about What Will It Take. Did we get into Crickets featuring Tracy Lee?
No, but we should.
How did that collab come?
It was a blessing. It was a blessing, straight blessing. Through O'Jiz, of course, him and good homie, good brother, the legend Tracy Lee, they've been cool. And I just found out, I was yesterday years old when I found out they've known each other since 2010. So, that's a real brotherhood, real bond in itself. So, this is just from what I understand, because at some point they could tell the story better than I could. But, at some point, the good brother heard about me and, heard about some of the things I had going on through O'Jiz. And, fast forward, he heard a little bit of the concept that I had for Crickets, and it was actually named something else, but it's not important. He heard it, went crazy, and I heard he wanted parts on it. And the thing is, to be totally honest with you, like I said, I'm going to be very transparent. I did not know. I heard the name a little, just enough to kind of vaguely a little bit remember. But when I actually did my research on who this gentleman is, Tracy Lee, you know what I'm saying? I lost my shit. So to know that he was, we were going to have something in the works, it was dope. And then to actually hear it, fast forward, when I actually heard it, I lost my mind. And then on top of that, you have O'Jizz's production that makes it very, 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 very.
What gives you a favorite?
It's one of my favorites. Yeah, one of my favorites.
I get crazy. So we got Can't Lie. You don't seem like you lie too much.
I try not to.
Maybe to women, but not. I want to play.
You're so on to me.
I'm so I love her. Beloved featuring my boy O'Jizz.
He killed it.
He always killed it.
He killed it. Funny backstory about that. That was actually the second track. It was Push. I told you Push was the first track we worked on. Beloved was the second one.
So y'all really was, man, Slew was like, that was in it.
Yeah. Funny thing about that was Slew picked that beat. Slew picked that beat for me, and when O'Jizz sent it, he told me, because I guess he got a sense of what I can do as far as, kind of song structuring, verse, hook, all that. So he told me with the Beloved, leave the hook space open. So I did. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't, but like I said, when I heard it back, I have no regrets.
Look, all the cuts there is his favorite. Sounds like
the whole album is crazy, and I hate to sound biased, but
today, don't. I'm gonna do a whole TikTok to it.
Yeah, and trust me, hit me. Let me know what you really think about it, because it's a lot of fun.
I'm for real.
And I get it. I'm sorry. I get it. It's 20 tracks. I get it. It's 20 tracks.
Good,
the attention span has
That's really, I was about to get into that with you. Yeah. I like the 20 track. I don't want 5. Give me more.
All these teasers, all this fast food. Ain't nobody.
So that's how the EPs obviously turn into the 20 tracks, because y'all was having a great time. And
if you think about it, if you listen, once you get a chance to listen to all these tracks and process them and love them or hate them for whatever reasons, you listen to all of them in its entirety. Exactly. So if you try to listen to it without any of those tracks, it kind of won't be telling the same story, because that's what we're kind of doing.
So it's telling a story for sure. I love when music tell a story. That's the big deal. That's the point.
Yeah.
All right. So we just talked about Beloved. We got Light It Up. We'll light it up let me light this up
that's probably one of those universal things. I'll be honest with you, I'm talking about gas, the grass, the good shit. You know what I mean? Lift it, beloved. That's what I do. But it's whatever you're into. And I'm not talking substance, I'm talking about whatever makes you feel good. Ready to take on the world and its obstacles that are guaranteed to fucking come. That's it. In translation.
That's the first song I'm gonna start with when I get into Space Age.
I love that song. To be honest with you, I was sitting. That was one of the last minute. Can I please get this on the album songs? Because I was sitting on. That was one of the first few beats that O'Jizz sent, and when we had maybe 18 or 19 done, I finally, because the thing is, I would ride around listening to these beats before I actually write to them. That's another part of the process. I've been doing I would have to, for whatever reason, go pick kids up.
Music hits different in the car.
It does, definitely.
It does.
And if I don't have a chance to, really pull up the voice memo or anything like that, the notepad, then I'll actually just in my head, kind of structuring a song. And when I do that, I think it was 3 or 4 months until I actually recorded it. So when I did, I was like, please get that thing on there. Because there's a few references on there. Because like I said, I always say I'm a student of the game. There's so many, hip hop references I make in there. I make Tupac references. I make, Do or Die, Pole Pimpin', references, all that. If you're a true student of the game and you love hip hop, you'll love the album, and just listen for yourself. It is what it is.
Bark at the Moon Talk Show.
Have you heard that one?
I'm going to hear all
Okay. You're going to trip on that. That's actually...
After the show, we bumping this in the parking lot. Okay, we about to...
Yeah, that's a little tip to, some of the shit I would watch, some of the junk I would watch growing up. Jerry Springer.
Titles are crazy, though. The track titles are...
you like Jerry Springer, you'll like that.
Ain't no telling.
Ain't no telling. That's another. I don't know what to say. Just listen to the album. The shit is dope.
Listen to the album, man. So
Ain't
what's
no
your
telling.
favorite scary movie? It seems like you like Halloween. So what's your favorite scary movie? Mine's is What You Did Last Summer. I love it. It's just so good to me.
Didn't they have Brandy?
The
Jennifer
second
Love
or
Hewitt?
third one or something like that. But
They had two of them?
Yeah, 2 or 3 of them. Didn't it? It was like 3 of them.
I'll be honest. I'm
Because you can't hide nothing. You can't, like, you got a track on here called Hard to Hide. Okay. Because I'm gonna know what you did last summer. Oh, all right, I'm sorry.
No.
You got a favorite scary movie?
No, the thing is, I don't.
You don't.
I don't. And look, I don't even like them.
What's your favorite love movie? Or action movie or drama?
Oh gosh. I'll be honest with you.
I also watch A Long Kiss Goodnight every day. I was her. I was badass. I forgot her name. All right, I watch that every day. You don't know what that is either?
No.
Jeez, get him up on these movies, y'all.
The thing is, like, I be, and there's no excuse. I be under such a rock.
It's okay.
By doing the music sometimes, but when I do peek out, like, it's just, you know, because, like, again, you got to factor into fatherhood. So when I'm watching TV, I'll have it on just for my kids, and then next thing you know, I'm more invested in the show,
So I be watching
Paw Patrol and all that shit than they are.
No, the cartoons be lit too.
But I'm a gamer. I'm a video gamer. I'm a gamer.
You're a gamer.
I'm more so a gamer.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm at an age where I'm very much open to, you know, suggestion. Like, 'cause the other day, last week, I posted, like, you know, what's your favorite Halloween movie?
Yeah.
And
I know, I watch it.
Yeah.
The VMix Radio Show offers promotional interviews, product commercials, playlist song entries, monthly ad space on the VMix.com, YouTube, Spotify, and AudioMac. For more information, send your inquiries and media material to thevmix@gmail.com, or you can call 410-929-6291. Get familiar.
So we talked about some tracks, all right? We talked about My Imaginary Reality actually being the intro push. Did we get into classes in the session?
No, but we can. Very quickly.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm a student of the game, but like I said, it's kind of a reintroduction of the last few years of hip-hop. You know, and a lot of, you know, not so much old heads, but people who, you know, feel a certain level of nostalgia when they hear certain references or something like that. They'll like that song. And it's kind of me talking to these young, no, not so much youngsters, but just these overnight people who want to wake up one day and be like, oh, I want to be a rapper or whatever the case is. I'm like, all right, cool. That's just me saying, all right, you understand there's levels to this shit. Because everybody's doing what they're doing, and that's all too typical. If you're going to fuck with somebody who's observing the masses, but doing the complete opposite. That's the school we're from. So classes in session. Go ahead, check that out.
I like that.
Show
People
up.
do feel like it is like a microwave movement for the last few years, 20 years.
We call it fast food music.
And that's what I was about to say about the 20 tracks. They would put 20 tracks out back in the day. We would go over the complete album. We would look at who produced the album. We would look you remember back then you put out one project, you're like, damn, when you put out the next project. Yeah. So I do like the fact that you put out
This is a good
tracks.
era we're in though, because if you think out of 20 tracks, and right now we're in the streaming playlisting era, right? So out of 20 tracks, some people may not like all 20 of them, but at some point they can kind of formulate out of that 19 or 20, 5 tracks to, you know, add to a playlist of their own, or whatever the case is. So like I said, we give them options. We give them options.
Alright, UOD, and what do that mean?
University of Diversity.
Okay.
And
I like that.
Yeah. And a little bit of a backstory on that is that it's kind of I want to say a continuation of what is an anthology? Would that be the right word to use? These songs where I wouldn't be so much rapping, but I would have an underlying message, but it wouldn't be your typical song structure like, you know, verse, hook, verse, hook. No, it would just be me going on for 60 or 600 bars, and I've been doing this since 2013. And the thing is, I don't know if OJ's heard it, but the thing is, when he sent me that beat, it was actually originally called a beat called Wonka. And
Wonka hot.
Yeah, like Wonka, Willy Wonka, the candy factory. But anyways, I heard it, did what I did to it, and it just had so much depth to it that I had to, in one way or another, have that as a continuation. So I think at this point it's the 6th version of it, but we just put UOD. So it's kind of a reintroduction or a reboot, kind of what they did with some movies, like kind of like that. So yeah, I speak on a lot. I speak on the universe. At some point, you hear the sarcasm, but you hear the realism as well.
So we saw Ain't No Telling. Did we talk about Ain't No Telling the formalities?
Briefly.
Formalities.
Ain't No Telling, but as far as the formalities, that's a very interesting track, and that's kind of one for the ladies, but it's more of a realistic approach. Like, if you're dealing with somebody, don't have me out here looking stupid. Regardless, that's just.
Sorry, y'all. I'm listening though. Sorry.
Yeah, but where was that? Formalities. Yeah, it's kind of like a little female track, and at some point, the funny thing is, when you listen to it enough, you kind of can imagine a female saying that to a guy too. It's the fairness. Regardless, you wouldn't want nobody to have you out here looking crazy. If you can help it, regardless. Roles reverse all.
But I'm ganged up on. It's only one girl, so I'm not gonna get into fight over this. All right, we got Rainy Days, Indigo. It looks like we went over your 20 tracks.
All of them.
Road to Recovery.
On the Road to Recovery. That's pretty dope. I think you'll like that.
I'm gonna like them all.
Yeah, I think you'll like that.
I'm
very encouraging in a time where we need it the most.
And we talked about formalities. I didn't mean to cut you off. We did Ain't No Telling, didn't we?
Yeah, we spoke on it briefly.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, like, it's kind of hard to really do a description of all these tracks because, like I said, I would be here all day talking about, like, what I felt when I first heard the beats and all that. So the only thing I can say is it's crazy. Go listen to it. It's available everywhere, and at some point, it may be your favorite, it may be your least favorite, but at some point, I would appreciate if you gave it a chance anyway. An unbiased listen, if you will. That's where I'm at.
I need to get familiar.
That's where
I'm
at.
about to get familiar.
But I'm sure there's a lot of shit that people can resonate with. A lot of people. The thing is, we're messengers. We are all messengers in our own right. So, listen to all these tracks. My reoccurring message will be the best you can possibly be. Okay? We're all unique. This life could be custom fit. Just like you would, create a person on 2K or whatever case is. You can, you have more control than you want to give yourself. You know what I mean? Credit for it. But at the end of the day, if you don't, you have no one to blame but you. So if you end up as just being a spectator rather than a player, then you have no one to blame. Because, we all possess this uniqueness. We all, possess the skills. It just becomes one of those, how much do you really want it things?
How much you gonna get familiar with it?
Exactly. And my thing is this, I never quit. I always look at this as like a second win. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for a while and very thankful just to be in this position.
You the math.
Yeah. Since 8, I'm 31.
So that was going to be my next question. Like, what do you want us to take away from the album? And it sounds like, look, you can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah, be the best you. Be the best you can possibly be. Don't let anyone's support or lack thereof cause you to divert from what your plan is, what you're chiseling away at your gift. And if it takes you a while to figure out what it is, that's cool. But just know and understand, just because I'm a rapper and you hear my message coming from a rapper's point of view, don't get it fucked up. We're all not built to be rappers. We're all not built to be podcasters or whatever the case is. You see what I'm saying? But again, I make reference to it on Rainy Days. We are all silent heroes in our own right. Don't get it messed up that we just so happen to be in an era where everybody who is an entertainer, so to say, they're on this platform and everything they say is law. No, that's not the case.
I don't think everybody got a package deal though.
Package deal? What do you mean?
Like, I don't think everybody got it.
No.
I'm supposed to say that.
No, I mean you're not wrong for saying that, but at some point it's realistic. And like I said, we gotta be honest with ourselves and surround ourselves.
OG's got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think everybody.
The capital IT.
Did that make sense?
I get it.
But I think everybody could find something that they had the it on. Meaning, like, everybody don't have it to be a rapper. Right. But they might be good at the camera. That don't mean they don't like spit some rhymes in the studio with you.
It's kind of hard to say that without offending some people because they'll take it as no, not you, but I'm just saying. Like,
I shouldn't have said that.
No. The thing is, no, because I always find myself in that exact space because not everybody wants to hear this may not be.
I'm being honest with my kids. Look, baby, don't you just put down the mic. You can't sing, baby. Let's teach you to dance.
You can't be an astronaut today.
Let's do this. Yeah, not today. I'm gonna be honest with my kids. Is that wrong?
You gotta be. I'm very transparent with mine.
So
and the thing,
no, go ahead.
We're here chopping it deep.
No, this is your interview. This is what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
We want people to know because when they tune into you and get familiar with my imaginary reality, they know who they buying into. You know.
Yeah, and there's layers to it. I'm very transparent, very, you know.
How did you find your sound? You being in the game for a minute, like writing since you was 12, you know, being around music for a long time. How did you know what sound was going into you, what genre was going to be in, like with this album and meeting up with Jizz?
Well, the thing is, we met. Well, I can only speak on me at this point. I knew I was just going to come with a lot that I was already equipped with. My skill set as an MC, my variation that I show, my songwriting ability. But at some point, I did wanted to, you know, take account of where we are right now as far as the current climate of hip hop, the redundant styles, and all that redundant bullshit.
That's what
I'm saying. My whole thing is, if I have to at some point do the Migo flow, the jumping, and at the end of the day, let's be real, I'm a student of the game. That didn't come from them. It became reintroduced, just like the same way T-Pain reintroduced the auto-tune. But we know about Robert Troutman. You know what I'm saying? So, or Roger Troutman, my bad. You see what I'm saying? But y'all know where I'm getting at. So, if anything, like I said, it was going to be a re-education, a reintroduction, but we're giving you something new. And my whole thing is, I don't want to sound like you niggas. I don't want to rap like you niggas. There's too many of you who rap like each other. I don't want to be the 115th. No, I want to be the very first Neza. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I did. That's what I did. And when people listen to my discography, because I'm already prepared for a lot of people to say some shit like, I'm sorry, I'm just...
You better, this is your interview.
I'm prepared for people to say some shit. Oh, he sounds like Kendrick. Joyner, Eminem. I make reference to that on Hard to Hide. Like I say, yo, why the comparisons? Maybe the cadences. I'm not from Compton or stayed in the trailer home. And that's just me being playful about it. But other than that, I don't go out of my way to sound like you niggas. Like if the influence is there, yeah, sure. But at some point, it's like, listen to my discography, do your research. I've been doing this for a long time.
So you knew what's
for a very long time. And I'm ready for people to say, oh, you're trying to sound like, no, at some point, no. Nobody stays the same. Nobody stays the same. And that's what I want people to walk away with. Like, yo, this dude showed a lot of variation. But at some point, that used to be my problem. I didn't want to, be overbearing with it to where people didn't know how to identify me. So platforms like this and scenarios like this is very important so you can see me as a person and understand, oh, this motherfucker really is like that. Okay, cool. And at that point, it becomes a choice. Like, oh, either we can take them all in or we just take them in layers. Where we had last had our bookmark on. Okay, it was a little more sensible here. We'll pick them up. Yeah, but sorry about that.
No, stop telling me goddamn sorry. You don't see me strangle my first guy.
I'm not sorry anymore.
Alright, so it sounds like your sound was already there. Did you just capitalize and it grew?
Yeah.
So
I became more confident in it behind his production, I will say that, because
you had any other producers in mind, or just was like the hooked up? It was
no. To be honest with you, I've worked with many producers, and they know the part they play. It might come up, but at some point,
you gotta grow. I get it.
You gotta grow, and shout out to my homeboy, Mines, the other half of Artifacts, my boy. He is a reason why I listen to music a little more sonically, rather than going off
the beat.
Exactly. But when it comes to OJiz, including in what I keep saying about the whole trust factor, like as long as, bro, I just feel like he gets me. He totally gets me. He gets where I'm coming from. And then it's just the fact that I don't have to do too much other than trust him after I do what I do. Love, man. It's a great project.
So you freestyling for me today?
Freestyle.
Alright, I ain't put you on the spot. Let's get ready to do that. Okay, but I want to ask some crazy questions. You believe in UFOs? What would you do if an alien popped up right now? You tell me to listen to my imaginary reality.
I would, but I would see, if they got any weed.
Like, how is the weed in the universe, right?
Right. I'll be honest. I
believe in UFOs. Like, I believe in UFOs. I just want to see something.
You truly do? You really?
I really do believe in aliens. This big universe, we cannot be here by ourselves.
Wait, does that come from have you done research on it? Or does that come from a fascination from shows
researcher. I'm a journalist. I think that's what this is. I'm a journalist that grew in my craft, that I have a good conversation, but I am a researcher.
Have you seen one yourself?
I think they be around me, but I don't get to see them.
Really?
Yeah, I believe in them,
I believe you. If you seem very passionate about it. If you told me you see them, I would sit here and be like, really?
No, because I've been seeing a lot of videos lately about them.
Oh, okay.
So once I've been seeing a lot of videos, I be looking up in the sky and I be seeing a lot of movement up there. So I want to ask all my guys, do y'all believe in it too?
No, I'll be honest. I'm open to accepting that it was real, but I
never thought about us being the only people here.
No. And that's kind of like an underlying message, in my music. And UOD, I'm talking about the universe as a whole. When I say in this universe, or something like there's a universe in which I was a better father or something like that. And it's kind of sarcasm, but there's realism behind that. But I'm basically just saying if there was an Earth 2, a parallel universe, or that kind of gets into the aliens too. You know what I mean? Like I even said some wild shit like, in a universe in which we were inhabitants of Mars first.
Ooh. So we did learn some stuff about you other than the music that you like to do, right? Your father.
Yeah.
You're a gamer?
Gamer.
So if you wasn't if you were like, okay, I'm done with music, what would you do? What would people know you for?
I'll be honest, I would try to stay in the production realm of things. Because outside of building and manipulating words, I like to do that with music. And at some point, if this rap shit did not work out, then I would be very comfortable and cool with just orchestrating shit. And even at some point, even if it does not get heard by anybody except my children, because they love my music.
It will.
But production, and also, like I said, I'm into some other shit. I have a podcast of my own, the Sky Sanctuary podcast. Check me out on YouTube.
What's that a podcast about?
It's basically, it was initially made to surround music, but I wanted to somewhat be reflective as me as a person. And it's not just music with me. So, we're talking gaming, we're talking, comics. And actually, on one of my episodes, we had a bud tender. This guy works at a dispensary and shit. So it's kind of like we want a wide range of people. You know what I mean? And different concepts and things. And at some point, we just do little skits and all that. Things that captivate, and we factor that in with a little bit of animation I do, but. Just a different platform.
I want to be.
I mean, the thing is, if you're familiar with Adult Swim or what was initially Adult Swim before it got weird and shit and satanic or whatever the fuck, then that's what we're kind of going for. But at some point, we're at a rebranding stage. The Sky Sanctuary podcast. That's what it is on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So get familiar. I hope to be a recurring guest.
You better come through. You like it?
I love it.
Good. First interview, right? All right, a game, a freestyle after the game, but just a quick game about to wrap this up. I'm your girl, Miss Vee, host of the VMix radio show. I'm interviewing Neza. He has an album out right now, My Imaginary Reality. The debuting single is A Long Halloween. That's out right now. The visuals.
The video is out now.
The video is out. I was listening to all these words. It's out right now on YouTube. I want y'all to get familiar. My brother, I'm going to say now, is OJ's. He's responsible for the production. Shout out to his manager, Slew. We got Sergio. Thank y'all for coming through. Again, I'm Miss Vee, host of the VMix radio show. If y'all want to get familiar, hit me up on thevmix.com, thevmix@gmail. My email is 2X's. I'm on IG, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, all that good stuff, YouTube. I got my own website. Yeah, you can DM me too. Slide up in them DMs. Boom. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. Okay. But again, thank you to my sponsors. Thank you to Mayor's Lighthouse. She sells lashes. I think they are great when you're trying to be glam and everything like that. Get familiar with Mayor's Lighthouse. Also, my sponsor, Division Street Landscaping. You're looking for employment opportunities, get familiar with Division Street Landscaping. Also, if you're looking for landscaping services, hit up Division Street Landscaping. Shout out to Mingle Lounge. Thank you so much for your sponsorship. If you're looking to host any events, Mingle Lounge is the place to be. Very cute. Weddings, parties, anything of that nature. Again, I'm your girl, Miss Vee, host of the VMix radio show. And I'm about to wrap this up with Neza. Again, My Imaginary Reality. Be kind of real. It's real, you know what I'm saying? All right, so we're going to play a little quick game. Who would you take with you to a cypher battle?
For support or to rhyme with me?
To rhyme with you, and you can give me somebody for support.
Okay. Does it have to be someone known, like a very
We
check.
gonna get into the who you know,
Okay.
like who your inspirations as far as national and local.
Okay.
You wanna do that first?
I mean, we can all
Alright.
summon all.
So we're going to a cipher.
Okay.
Who you taking with you? You said you want a support person. It could be local or it could be local. It could be national.
Okay.
So let's do that. No collab.
All right. For support, I probably want Royce 5'9".
I do like him.
All right. And to actually, rhyme with me. You're gonna hate me,
Two people to rhyme with you.
Okay.
Because it is a lot. It's a lot.
Black Thought. Okay. Black Thought. And Busta Rhymes.
Oh, I would have never thought you would put them three together.
Ooh.
I like. Okay. Who out of national or local would you, if you get a chance to perform your first performance? You know, you're gonna be a lot of performances with my imaginary reality, but like a first one that's like let's say a headliner. It could be local or national. Who would you bring with you? It's a headliner now. Who you want to open up for you? Because you
already my squad will be with me automatic.
That's automatic.
Oh man, I'll have to double it back here, Royce. I'm there. You know what I mean?
This is the first time I had a guest that really threw voice out there more than once.
Yo, sidebar. Yo,
you're the first guest that really
is the
threw
truth.
voice out.
And this ain't me, D-riding or nothing like that. It's just like real, recognized real. And I've always like respected his penmanship and just like, and nowadays he gives up so much wisdom and jewelry. So it's like, bro, I love it.
I like the way he moves. I love the way he moves. I do.
Yeah, but
you're the first, like, out of everybody I interviewed, they don't really bring up voice that much.
Have you heard what was it?
Nothing recent. I haven't.
What was the joint with Overcome?
It's so much.
What was the name of the album?
Oh my god, wait a minute.
Allegory. Yeah, oh my god, you gotta hear that. That joint's crazy. Yeah, but I'll have him there for support once again, and you said we opening up.
Headliner. What national artists are opening up for you? How you compare?
Probably gonna have to say Joyner Lucas.
I do like Joyner.
Joyner Lucas?
He spit crazy.
Motherfuckers probably thought I was gonna say some shit like Kendrick. No.
I do. You don't like Kendrick? So
love him.
Who time period before you meet Jizz, after Jizz, like who you listen to, like who inspires you? Who's like, all right, I'm feeling it. From 8 to now, like give me a little catalog real quick.
All right, from 8 to now, yo, I know a lot of people don't expect this, but I was listening to MC Hammer, Too Legit to Quit. And it was this Christian.
Everybody listen to MC Hammer. That's why I laugh. Like, what? I was in the whole thinking it was, you know what I'm saying?
All that. So MC Hammer, a little bit of LL Cool J. I didn't really start digging into like the vintage shit like Run DMC, Kane, Rakim, and all that until I became 16. And by that time, I was also fascinated with Cannabis, Tupac, Busta Rhymes, and then I went in my bag and checked out what he did with Leaders of the New School, and it was like, yo, this dude is nasty. So that's why even to this day I salute Busta Bust. And then at some point Eminem, he got
he's not my favorite.
No, I mean, I'll be honest, he's very polarizing, and but if anything, I respect how he somewhat made a transition as a person. But other than that, and then lyrically of course, but other than that, like, I get it. Not everybody.
I'm sorry, I didn't stomp on your head.
No, it's cool. I totally get it. I fuck with people for my reasons, and I get why people don't. But
so this is an hour. We hit this. What you think? Right. What you want us to know about you before you freestyle for the VMix? I'm gonna get up and let him freestyle. Yep. I ain't gonna look at him like this. I'm gonna get up. So what you want us to know? We closing this. This is it. This is.
I don't know. That was just about everything. I felt like I gave you my life story.
We went through the tracks, 20
multiple
tracks,
choice, so
no EP.
Yeah, but if anything, I want everybody to know that I'm very appreciative to everybody who has listened to the album so far, and to those who haven't, I really encourage you to do so in your own time. No rush. It ain't going nowhere. It's still going to be on all the streaming platforms and all the digital stores, and at some point, we're just going to be cooking up while y'all are getting around to it. So, Long Halloween, the visual is out now. Check that out on YouTube. Thank you. Very appreciative. Look out for On the Track Music Group. We have more to do, more ground to cover, as far as wrapping up this year, because we're going to open up pretty big. That's all I can really say.
Dope.
Again, I hope, I'm very thankful
Absolutely.
to Miss Vee and the VMix radio show.
How people get familiar?
Yeah, please get familiar.
You know?
You only hurt yourself if you don't.
Alright, so again, I'm Miss Vee, host of the VMix radio show. Congratulations on everything. I'm getting up because I want to have this spit real quick. Alright, so boom, it's a commercial. Boom.
A chef meth. I'm Heisenberg with my words. Breaking bad will get you stripped of your blessings.
You know, Jizz, I really don't think they understand what we're doing right here. You can't Van Gogh very far in life if you're half listening. Check me out, though. Let it breathe. You already know about me, man. I'm a fly kind of guy, so I know bullshit when I smell it. You dig it? Yeah. Look, stone cold on these hoes. You get pumped by Debo. That shit don't happen to me, though. Laugh in the face of evil. Like, bitch, you gon' need more people. I'm a stone cold stunner. Never scared. Bone crusher. Burn it, more rubber. Fuck the world, but I'm a lover. Thuggish to the bone, ruggish. I've been in my zone, brother. I just hope you know that when the shutter glass is on the floor, I open a can to whip some ass. Yeah, hoe get smashed. And we go to the ranch. No, I don't dance. I don't romance. Her back get blown. I crack a beer open. I flip a bird or two. What's your name? It don't matter, cause I never heard of you. My rose gold's gotta shine, bitch. I ride and die for mines, and that's the bottom line. Just ask about me, ho. I murder booths. Yeah. I got half the mind to let this bitch rock with no hook. Maybe that's just what I'll do. Yeah. Love by minute, hit it by most. Bit in my back, class in session, come to school. Yeah. I'll show you students how to do this. Don't be senseless, pay attention, don't be rude. Yeah. But don't waste my time, you know it flies. So open your books and try to take a note or two. Picture perfect, yeah, I paint a perfect picture. Bob Ross with the brush, you Van Gogh, you half listening. Admit it, you just mad because you quite the ad-libber. But your verses need some work, so truth be told, you can't deliver. When I listen to your shit, I can't get too far past the fibbing. Gang, you all sound the same. Get you some range, for instance, switch up the flow. Show them that you are too dope to be settling for every trap beat and repo. Gun lines and drug references combine. Attract the ignorant, won't lie. I can be ratchet sometimes, but I always find a way to stay true to myself, motherfucker. And that's the difference. One time, a band camp, never mind, everyone tried to settle down for a second while I get it together. I'll show you how your words are weapons. Class dismissed. Yeah. I got half the mind to let this bitch rock with no hook. Maybe that's just what I'll do. Yeah. Love by minute, hit it by most. Bit in my back, class in session, come to school. Yeah. I'll show you students how to do this. Don't be senseless, pay attention, don't be rude. Yeah. But don't waste my time, you know it flies. So open your books and try to take a note or two. If you shut up, you might learn something. I got half the mind to let this bitch rock with no hook. Maybe that's just what I'll do. OMG. Yeah. Love by minute, hit it by most. Bit in my back, class in session, come to school. Yeah. I'll show you students how to do this. Don't be senseless, pay attention, don't be rude. Yeah. But don't waste my time, you know it flies. So open your books and try to take a note or two.